Alright, we're playing some random ass music today. Copyright and royalty free. So who knows what's gonna come on. And if this is actually registering. It is, okay, yay. And I hope that's not too loud. Okay. And okay, I'm trying to get my chat on my phone today. Hopefully this will work. Okay. So what I have here already is just some practice I was doing from a Gumroad from Modern Day James. And Mocap, what's up? I love that hand. It's like coming out of the abyss, giving you a thumbs up. So I'm just gonna start off doing some of my normal exercises. Oops. What just happened? Is that too loud, by the way? It's kind of loud for me. Oh, nice. What's your favorite stream, Mocap? And why? Like what would make it your favorite stream? Oh, wait, okay. So this is gonna be... Okay, so I'm rotating it on this side. And if I were to draw this and show what I'm rotating, it's oh, fan noise. Actually, let me turn that off real quick. I have the bathroom fan going. I'm surprised that it's being picked up from my mic. That's really disturbing. Alright, hopefully the water won't rot the walls. Because there's like, when I take a shower, I take like really hot showers, so there's like water everywhere. So much condensation. And what's your favorite stream? And why isn't it ours or Legendary Mantises? Okay, so I'm rotating it on this one, basically. Rotating it around this edge. So this side should get a little bigger, but only like down, because it's all going to be aligned to like the top here, so that we keep the same perspective view from the top. And okay. And then this is going to be like this, I think. Oh wait, no, because I want it to be Weird. Okay, I want it to be here because I want it to be like that. Like this idea, but I want it to be proper perspective from the top. Okay, so then, oops. Actually, yeah, I'll just undo this. Redo, oops. Redo this line. And so I guess this one's gonna be the short edge. What the fuck was that? As I said, I have some DRM free track list. I have no idea what's on it. I feel like this is too strong of a rotation. I really hope that, I think I saw something like this in the Scott Robertson book, and I hope that one day it explains this to me once and for all, because I don't think I fully get this yet. I did this exercise up here, and I understand the rotation of the, like, the vanishing points and how they change, but I don't know, they change when it's on the same plane, you know, so. But I'm just gonna practice kind of blindly, and then hopefully if I just keep doing this every day, one day I'll get it. Okay, so this is like, I guess 3/4, kind of quick to be honest with you. But let's keep going anyway. This is gonna be like the halfway. Crashing Atom, what's up? Did I see your attempt at drawing after working out? Lasted about 25 seconds. Ah! No, I haven't seen it yet. I need to check my messages. Can you post it here? I think I can like click it on my phone. I'm like looking at the chat on my phone. How you been, dude, by the way? Oh, and Mantis, I saw your photos. I think those are the same ones you linked me last time, too. I think you've shown me those paintings before. You gotta get some new work out there, man. I thought you were working on some 3D projects, Mantis, or was that not you? Maybe that was... I thought you were doing that, but maybe not. Don't quite recall. Well, shit. Oh, thank God for the ankle. 80% though? Hasn't it been... How many weeks has it been since that happened? Probably someone else. I think I was thinking of working on looking... I think I was thinking of working on looking into doing 3D. You think you were thinking of working on looking into 3D? What do you do, by the way? Like, what's your, do you, like, what do you do all day? Just out of curiosity, what do you do for fun, or? I know you stream games and Tekken, which, by the way, fighting games are one of my favorite genres. So, one day we should battle, but I don't have Tekken. Do they have Tekken for PC? Look, man. That conversation happened how long ago? Oh, it's on the PC. And does it have one of those PC adapter things? I'm sorry, controller adapters where you can actually play with the controller? Because Lord knows the controller is OP on fighting games. Not actually OP, it's just more traditional, I guess. Tekken 3 and 4. You know, I don't know if I can really say I remember well enough which ones are the best or which ones I like the most. All I remember is no one could beat me in Tekken. Anywhere. But they didn't have online back then, so... I was pretty good at Soul Calibur, too. And even when those fuckers would, like, try to spam Killix moves in Soul Calibur... I think it was Soul Calibur 4... Yeah, you know how you can just spam Killix, like, his staff thing where he's, like, bam, you know? Yeah. Dude, I would wreck bitches who tried that shit on me. It was so satisfying. Although I think there was I think if I recall correctly, there was either a Yoda or a Darth Vader spam that people would do that was really aggravating, but yeah, you can't win by spamming forever. Like, eventually, people just figure out, like, how to, counter it, so. I don't like this. This is, something is off with whatever I'm doing with that, so I think it's, like, down here, actually, and then... Yeah, I definitely need to figure out how to get that, like, keep the proportion the same, like, keep the square the same size, and then keep it in the exact same perspective on the top down, so, yeah, I mean, it looks okay, but this is definitely not perfect, and that actually really bothers me, because it's like, how do you actually replicate that if you're not doing it with any sort of, like, rhyme or reason, you know what I mean? This is a DRM-free song, but it sounds familiar. Probably just those chords. Yeah, and see, like, this isn't, like, the same kind of 3/4, like, this is not the same angle. I don't even know if that's actually technically a 3/4. It's like 3/4 of what? Hello, Meme Lord. Oh, are we still talking about rubbing boxes? Oh yeah, the box, yeah. Is that a, well, did we decide that was a Canadian term? Like, I forgot. If you have a controller or a fight stick, that'll work on PC. Soul Calibur 6. Oh man, Soul Calibur. That's my shit right there. That's one of my favorite. You think Maxi is noob friendly? I thought he was pretty... I guess I didn't play him that much, but I thought he was kind of hard because you had to, like, kind of know his combos. We don't talk about Yoda and Soul Calibur. Fucking Yoda, god damn it. Oh, I said fucking Yoda, like, thinking back on Yoda, and Mantis is like, fucking Yoda. Rubbing boxes and dad jokes are as far apart in the humor spectrum as possible. Well said, Crashing Adam. Very well said. I still didn't know what a box was until, like, recently because of the stream, so thank you, Twitch, for ruining my innocence just that much further. As if I had any left to spare. Like, goddamn, guys. Yeah, this was a fail. So, you know, fail of the day. Fail of the day. Yeah, I added a place in the Discord called Doo-Doo of the Day, so you can post your doo-doo. And then one day you can look back at your doo-doo and say, now my shits are cleaner, you know? Do I recall how long it took for your emote to get approved? I have no idea. I think it was like a day or two. I think it was really quick. I need extra emotes. I need to make some more, but I haven't made any lately. It's been a minute. It's been literally over 6 months since I made that. I'm actually pretty proud of that emote though. It's pretty cute. Like, yeah. I need to outdo myself for the next one. Okay, so now that I failed for the day on some warm-ups, if you want to call them that. I'm going to start with the Sunday Sabbath of Scott Robertson. So, as we all know, Scott Robertson is the Lord and Savior of art. So today we do him a service by studying his work called How to Draw by Scott Robertson. That's my Sunday plans for the rest of my fucking life. Well, at least until I finish, this book, which will probably take me the entire year. Which sounds really daunting. I hope not, but whatever. You do it as long as you need to, until you figure it out. Anyway, so a lot of these techniques I'm already sort of familiar with, such as the division and multiplication in perspective. So I'm probably not going to do that, although I want to see me by division. Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of get that for the most part. Dividing a rectangle in half in perspective. He doesn't actually show doing it in half. He just shows you doing it in like the front view, so that's kind of weird. Duplicating a rectangle in perspective. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, okay. So I kind of know that. Multiplying and dividing rectangles. He goes over some of your how to keep going when you make a mistake. Multiplying and dividing boxes. Yeah, I think I can try this one. This one looks somewhat... I mean, I kind of know the concept, but I think it could stand to be reviewed. And then I'm going to go into the mirroring in perspective. Mirroring planes, mirroring tilted planes, mirroring rotated tilted planes, and if I get really lucky, mirroring 2D curves, which I have done all these before in the past, but I'm just going to review them so that I remember. Hopefully it'll be easier to comprehend this time around, because I kind of already know it, I hope. It'll be a good test. And if not, well, you just keep learning. And then after that, yeah, so let's start with that and see where we go. Oh, you got affiliate on Friday. Congrats! Congrats! Woo woo! Hey, now you gotta figure out... now you gotta get drawing again. You gotta get yourself an emote, man. Actually, how do most people get emotes? Do they draw their own? Or what do they do? Godot at this game? Oh, God. I mentioned to my friend that I'm probably getting a MacBook Pro, and I had to listen to the people only buy Apple because of the social aspect rant, despite me owning no other Apple products. Oh, that rant. The social aspect? Do people really buy... Actually, some people buy it because of social reasons, but that's probably the dumbest fucking reason I could ever imagine anyone buying a product. Yeah, well, trust me, I understand. I have never bought an Apple product for social reasons. I don't give a shit if anyone has an Apple product or not, and I don't give a shit if anyone thinks anything of me if I have one. In fact, I'm almost embarrassed to admit I have an Apple product because most people think it's for dumbasses. Maybe they're right. Maybe we're dumb, Adam. Oh, they commission artists. Okay, gonna ask commission Lumpy Touch to make a mantis head, but my friend's Discord server, there's an emote of his own face that's just smug, unlike you fucked up, so he let me use that. Oh, nice. And it so happens to be a mantis? Oh, his own face, I see, okay. That's awesome. Alright, so let's multiply and divide some goddamn boxes, shall we? Yeah, you know, as I was scheming up this Scott Robertson Sundays idea, I was thinking, is it offensive to refer to him as a deity to some people? Or, like, joke about, like, Scott Sabbath? Or, like, is that an offensive thing? Like, I mean, it doesn't seem offensive to me. It's just a lighthearted joke. But, like, I feel like it would trigger someone or something. I think we've discussed this before. It's almost impossible to live your life without triggering someone. So I guess I might as well just do what I want. What a thought. I'm not like loving this music, to be honest with you. I kind of wish that I could just play any music without my video not ever uploading, because the reason I do DRM is because I want to track all of these videos and basically record them on YouTube, so that you can, like, if one day I get good in 10 years, you can actually see the whole process of how I got there, you know? So that's why I focus on keeping my content, like, able to be on the internet. And also because I don't want to store it all myself. Like, let's be real, who wants to have piles and piles of external hard drives? Not me. Okay, so I'm just gonna... I'm gonna just arbitrarily draw some lines. Actually, I'm gonna draw it and then see if it's straight with my shift tool. Oh yeah, that's not straight at all. Okay. Alright, well, that one's better. I'll keep my original line because I'm proud of it. What's up, Odyssey WoW? Welcome back, welcome back. Apple is trash for gaming, but it's decent for production shit. Yeah, you know, it's decent for a few reasons. Like, if you don't want to make a computer yourself or a laptop yourself, like, you get basically, what you get is going to just work. And like, if you bought Windows machines in the past that have failed you, sometimes you're just like, man, if only I had a Mac that would just work for 5 years. Which is my logic. What the fuck is this image on this video? Did you really have to show me the Donnie Darko rabbit at the end of that? Fucking Christ. Alright. I'm just not gonna look at that. Anyway, the world is weak as fuck. People need to be triggered. That's pretty good. Amazon pushed a deal to my phone for golf range finder. Golf range finder? Is that like a tool? Like something that people like need? Wait, actually this box, how did you start this? I guess you just draw a line and then, how do you get it to be so even though? I just don't understand, like, he's like, step 1, you have a whole box. I guess he started with a small one or something, like, I guess he started here, and then, like, multiplied it out, and then with the line weight, basically determined the rest or something, so, okay. Okay, Scott. A little more instruction would be nice, but you know, that's okay. Oh, did I that's a curved line, but I'm glad it made it to the target. Okay. Hey, I have to say, all of that line training actually pays off, even when you go to digital, so. Do your lines every day, kids. And I'm talking about the lines you draw. Get your mind out of the gutter, everyone. Oh, except it's failing me here. Surface Pros are nice for painting. Yeah, they're alright. But I think that the iPad Pro is 10 million times better, if you ask me. I mean, with Procreate, it's just like so fucking easy. I love it. And I had a Surface Pro, the first model that I bought years ago, and I couldn't use Photoshop on it because it was so small. So it was just like, oh great, like it's so small I can't even use it. And then they didn't have any good painting apps. I mean, they had some apps back then that I could have used, but yeah. So I ended up just using it to take handwritten notes in my classes because I don't know why, but that's what I did with it. I use it for like school because my the laptop I had before was really heavy, and I think it got stolen while I was stealing Photoshop. There was some karma for me there. Wait, is that what happened? What happened to that laptop? Oh no, I think what happened was, I think it was just so heavy that it was, and I had to walk all the time, and it was like really hurting my back. And I had a job, so I was like, I'm going to buy this fucking all-in-one thing because I can draw on it, I can do this, I can do that, and it wasn't as heavy. It was actually a really good decision. Uh, 24 Stu, Kobe or LeBron? I'm gonna have to say Kobe just because it's like, you know, when you walk by a trash can and you throw something, you obviously you say Kobe, you know what I mean? You don't say LeBron, so. But, yeah, that's the only reason why. Any price of Apple product is strictly due to the fact that it's designer. Yeah, I think it's due to the fact that it's just a closed ecosystem. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And people will buy it because they're like, oh, Apple. But I will say I prefer Apple for a few reasons. One, I have no need for customization. Like on my phone, for example. Oh, you know what? If I just drew an X, like everything would have made sense and I would have had a line. Cool. I'm actually just gonna sketch it in anyway. But yeah, like the amount of customization that Android has actually pissed me off, so. And when I would use like other phones that were iPhone, I was like, yeah, this suits my needs, so that's why I have it. If you want to sit there and fiddle around with your phone for like 20 hours a day, then be my guest, but you know, I wasn't doing any development on it. It's like a phone for a power user, if you ask me. It's like I'm not a power user because I just don't give a shit about my phone. I don't use it for that many things. But if you do, by all means, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing I never understand is like these technology wars. Like people are such fanboys of one or the other, but it's like in reality they always have their perks. Everything always has a pro and a con, you know. So, wow, this line is actually pissing me off. So I'm gonna erase it because fuck it. Fuck you. Yeah. So like Apple has its flaws. Windows has its flaws. If you're making your own computer, like desktop, then yeah, Windows makes way more sense, or Linux if you're so inclined. Oh, dude, how do you multiply? I guess like this. Is that right? I was gonna say, how do you multiply over, you know, the thing with this book, it's really good, but the instruction is just so piss poor. It's like, it's nice, but why is there no instruction? For like, how do you decide how do you make a square of equal size going back, like on this side here? I mean, I could just arbitrarily draw a line, but like, how is that reliable? It's not. And like this one up here, it's like in the sketch, it's just there's no guidelines, so you don't know how he got to what he got to. Okay, hold on. Pay attention to your crap. Make sure to draw lines, draw a line. So, I mean, okay, so if you're multiplying, you know, a rectangle into a vanishing point, like, it's, you know, it's kind of, it makes sense. He completely goes into detail there. You don't have any questions. If you can actually draw toward your vanishing point, that's probably a good start. And then you arbitrarily make a box, and I mean a square, and there you go. So now that you have the midpoint here, you intersect it. Theoretically, you can intersect it again here. Pick whatever line allows you to get the straight line. Do it again. I mean, you know, so I get that. So like here, now that I have this base down, like I get that it's here and there, here and there, and that actually lined up really perfectly. That's kind of weird. Okay, so the question is, how do you multiply this across a plane? And actually, maybe he talks about that. Maybe that's what he's talking about with the whole mirroring planes thing. So maybe that's where you find out. It's just so, yeah, because it is a plane. I mean, that's a plane. And then this is the mirror plane, you know? So I guess that's what it is, but it's just a little weird that he shows this box thing before explaining that, and then doesn't ever explain how it relates together. So you're just kind of left to see these figures and be like, oh, that's nice. How did you get there? What, do you not take notes in class? Is that not normal? What's up, Sakello? A surface is 3K, what? Yeah, it definitely wasn't 3K for me. He's playing WoW on a Surface Pro. Yeah, Apple is, yeah, that's really, that's actually kind of one of the reasons I got it. Was I had learned a lot about Photoshop with the graphic designer, and because I knew all the shortcuts, I was like, I want an Apple, even though you can just learn them on Windows, which is exactly what I'm doing now. And I broke my screen, so GG my expensive laptop. I mean, it works, it's just like 1/8 of the screen is missing. It's very tragic. But I have not been willing to spend $500 on a repair, so I'm just living with it. And it's pretty... other people may have different opinions, but for whatever reason, I cannot get desktop audio to play through my stream on my Mac, so that's why I'm using the computer I'm using now, which is not mine. gonna erase this and just in the box here. And then I'm going to draw back to some vanishing points. I used to play LOL on the Surface, but it was really hard to do because it's so tiny, but it definitely worked. And that was a Surface 1 too. He spent the weeks before class, I spent the weeks before class started fighting a section of the class of the prefecture who let me come for tests. Oh, I see. Then I wouldn't come to class until the third week, and I say I thought I was going to drop, but didn't have to. Dude, oh my god, guys. There were some classes that I just was like, there's no point in coming into this class. Like, you're not teaching me anything. Your tests are literally straight out of the book. Why am I wasting my time? And I had like 5 back-to-back classes. So that was I started using my chemistry class as a break class. I still have nightmares about like that, not going to class and forgetting that I had a class, and because I never went to it. I feel like that actually happened. No. I just had a dream about it. I had a dream that I forgot about a class like the entire semester until the end, and I was like, my GPA was fucked, and I was like, no, my GPA, fuck. It's one of those dreams. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so one class I had was, the only class I failed was, I didn't ever read the syllabus, and it was entrepreneurship. I failed entrepreneurship, which is like, I thought it was going to be a good class to teach me something about entrepreneurship, right? Yeah, that was wishful thinking. The guy hated his life, and basically he actually hated everyone in the class unless you were like a girl who like basically really sucked up to him, you know what I mean? Like brown nosing as hard as you can, which I did not do at all. So every time I would go to his class, I'd be like, I feel less inspired to make my own business by the day, so I'm gonna just not come to class, take the test, and peace out. So that's what I did. Obviously I got like an A on all the tests because they're all bullshit. His PowerPoints looked like they were made from the 80s, made in the 80s. Like, it literally looked like it came from the 80s. Like, I just could not, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, and then I failed the class because it turns out that there's an attendance policy, and you lose a bunch of points for not attending the class. And so, it worked out because I just tore him a new one in the reviews, and it was an elective class, so it wasn't like that much weight on my, it was weighted, but like it didn't matter for my graduation, but it did. It was credit hours I could have taken doing something I actually like. So yeah, I just explained everything I just said to you in that review, and I hope he's gone, because honestly that guy is one of those people who's just complacent, and it's like he's complacent in a role where it doesn't make sense to be complacent, because like you could actually help people, you can actually change students' lives, but instead you're being a piece of shit. So fuck off, please. But yeah, that was like terrible. When I failed that class, man, I was just like, what the fuck? This is the only class I ever failed in my entire life, and I was just infuriated, to be honest with you. Most of the times, classes you only showed three times, 2 midterms and a final. Oh my god. I know, right? That's how I feel about college. All that money, and here I am wishing that I never spent it. Which is why I tell the kids these days, do what you want to do, and if you feel like college isn't serving you, then get the fuck out if it's on your dime. And my parents like guilted me into it, so, and I was too like, what's the word? I wasn't really the person I am today, so I was just like, oh, I don't want to make my parents' lives be a total waste because I dropped out of college, which is what they claimed. would happen if I dropped out of college. And so instead I went into a bunch of debt and took a job that I hated, and here I am, still doing the same thing. Wee. So yeah, don't do that, guys. You don't need to do that. If you don't know what you want to do, like, take a ditzy job, like, take a dumb job, like the grocery store, and live with your friends. Like, there's just no need to get a pointless degree doing something that you just don't like. It just makes so much more sense to do what you kind of want to do. If you know what you want to do, then do it. If you know that it's like, the thing is that with art especially, people are such naysayers, and they think like, oh yeah, no, you can't make money being an artist. You just can't make money being an artist. You need to do something practical. Well, I have seen so much evidence to the contrary that you can make a living being an artist these days if you're good and you work hard and you improve. But they don't know that side of the equation, so they don't know the industry of anything. So they're basically just talking out of their, what they think is reality, but that's not all the reality that exists. So, that's why I think it's very foolish for anyone to listen to anyone except themselves when it comes to life decisions, especially when you're taking out debt to afford them. So my new rule is I will never go into debt for anyone again, or make a decision for anyone else. Like, I mean, to a degree, it's not like I'm going to betray someone like who I shouldn't betray because it's like, oh well, that doesn't suit me at this moment. Like, not like that, but I just mean, like, if my parents were like, when are you having kids? When you need to have some kids so we can have some grandkids, which I do have happening to me, and I'm just like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait a long time for that to happen. Like, you're gonna wait at least another 20 years, so get comfy and start eating better if you want to make it that long. What's up, Tim Spice? Yeah, college itself is not going to help you. You have to put in the work for sure to be an artist. I missed my physics final, but I become friends with the professor and they gave me a C. That's awesome. And thank you, Tim Spice. Your parents are the same. The closest they're getting to a grandkid is your mutt boy. You mean like your dog? That's what I told my parents. Like, that's what I told multiple, my parents, my fiance's parents. It's like, yeah, the sugar gliders are all you're getting for kids right now. So don't get excited. Like, how the hell am I gonna have kids when I can't even afford my own life? Like, are you kidding me? No. That's just not, I'm just not gonna do that, so. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that I lived for someone else's expectations, because now I will not do that for a much longer term decision, which, would make things a lot harder if I did that, so. Okay, so I'm trying to see how he cut out some space here. It's like here. He cut this out. It's using the line weight, But I don't really know how. I just feel like I don't know what happened. I know. Oh, I see. Okay, wait. There's a box somewhere in the back here. So, okay, I'm going to draw through that. And then basically just draw it down. And then you have this side, and then this one. how can I have kids if I don't leave my fucking room? Yeah. But also, it's like, the real question is, that I think everyone needs to ask themselves before having kids is, why do I want to have kids? Like, sure, there's the argument where it's like, oh, well, you are evolutionarily designed to want to have kids. Okay, yes, you are geared to reproduce. However, let's not forget, we also expect ourselves to act like humans in other things that we are evolutionarily designed to do. So why do we not act like a human and think rationally about reproducing? So, yeah. And some of the answers that I think people have to that question are very disturbing, if you ask me, which no one's asking me, but I'm just talking, so that's my unsolicited opinion. Like, for example, oh, well, all my friends are having kids. Yeah. Okay. And that's a reason? Like, are you really saying that's a reason? If you want to have the joy of raising another conscious being into existence and giving them the best quality of life you can, while, like, you know, nurturing them into being their, like, highest, like, self and expression, then, like, great, that's great. If you're just so complete in your life that you are ready to give back and give something to another life, like that's a good reason to me, you know. To me, I mean, who cares? But things like, all my friends are doing it, like that's like not a reason. Oh, all my friends started doing heroin, so I'm gonna do it too. Like, no. Plus, the planet is way overpopulated. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen some logic that says we're not technically overpopulated. Technically, if we optimize our existence, but, like, you know, I don't know. I think that the personal argument is a little more tangible, because it's like, what, just... Oh, I have a chat up, sorry. I mean, I'm all for humans optimizing existence. Like, that's the way to do life, if you ask me. But the problem is we're not really there yet, and yeah, I just don't think that doing it because everyone else is doing it is a reason for anything. Like, that's just not a good reason. Or like, oh, well, my parents want me to. Yeah, well, your parents aren't raising that child, so if someone else's desire for you is going to impact your day-to-day existence, then it doesn't matter what they say, because it's your life. So you don't owe anyone anything. Like, you didn't choose to be born. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people disagree with that, but okay, so I'm doing the mirroring horizontal planes now, and actually I might need more space than this, so let's just do this down here, and that's a little too long. And I'm gonna draw the mirror plane. And it's basically on the same plane, it's like on the same ground plane as the plane that I'm drawing. Oh yeah, and then the other reason people have kids as well, they did it by accident, so, you know, okay. That's, you know, and I'm not going to say you should or you shouldn't, you know, if that, I mean, once you get to that state and it's like, oh, now you have a child in you or something, like, it's kind of hard to just be like, Alright, peace out, man. I ain't ready for you. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not gonna judge people's decision on that because it's already kind of done. But yeah, if you're choosing, if you can consciously decide, like to have kids, then I think the most conscious, yeah, you should just be as conscious as you can about it. You know, that's just my opinion, you know, take what you will. So I'm just gonna guess that it's... Oh, okay, no, I was wrong. Okay, so the steps here are: draw a rectangular in a perpendicular mirror plane, extend the width lines of the rectangle toward the mirror plane until they intersected. Draw diagonals in the rectangle to find its midpoint, which I did, and draw a line from that point in perspective to the mirror plane. Okay, which I did. Okay, so this is the midpoint, drawn in perspective to the mirror plane. Use the mirror point to mirror the closer line to the mirror plane with the multiplication technique. Oh, okay. Then move into the far line. Oh, okay. So, basically, you're gonna extend this vanishing line to your vanishing point. Oops. So then you've got this. Wait. Okay, yeah. So oh, I see. Okay, so here to here. So this is how you get the... Wow, that's a really slight distance. Okay. I think I need to calibrate my pen. It's kind of weird, actually. I've said that like 6 times and I haven't done it yet. Alright, so now that you have this midpoint, you can go bam. I think. Is that what it said? So this is the step 2. Yes, and this is the step 3. And then you go back using the same, following the same plane convergence. And then bam. Actually, does he recommend anything out of that? No. Okay, so then you just follow the convergence again to complete that second plane. And then now you have the mirrored plane. Nice and easy. You know, I'd like to see how these are put in action, but I guess you have to go through the rest of the book to see that part. So now I'm going to do mirroring the vertical plane. And this is page 35. So starting off with a plane. Oops. And then the mirror plane. The question I kind of have is, how do you determine oh, okay, I think the angle of the mirror in these examples is always the same, convergence angle as the plane that you're reflecting. And I don't even know if that's what you call it, the convergence angle. I'm not totally sure. Okay, so draw your lines to make your midpoint and create a midpoint of your plane, which is, you can guess where it is, but I'm going to calculate it with the line technique. Oh wow, that's really off. Okay. I guess you can't do that. Oh, well, I guess you can. Okay. And then go straight down. Oh, actually, wait now. No, okay, don't do that. I think you just follow the convergence here into your plane, which is, you just need to focus on the center line, which I guess you just estimate based on how it looks. And then you take these lines and keep them going down, because basically your plane, mirrored plane, is going to follow that convergence. And then take, I think, so first you decide on the distance from here to here. And this is the exact same technique, actually. I mean, as you might expect, it's just a different orientation. Same technique as this one. And then do it again. Actually, I guess you don't have to do it again, because you can just follow the line of your convergence lines here, or your angle, like here, so. And then we take from here to here through the midpoint. Of your mirror. If you can draw it properly. I'll move this over so I can actually reach it. And then a line following the same convergence connecting these two, and you got your second plane. And so then I'm going to do a practice one with my own example, just to be sure I kind of get it. So I'm gonna do, let's do something just weird. I'm gonna do a mirror plane here. And then make this plane, let's see. I guess just like this. Maybe opposite of this, just for kicks. Oh. Can't believe they have a stay hydrated bot. Did they do that because somebody died on Twitch? I'm curious. Because I know they did that with Guild Wars once, because somebody died on Guild Wars. Oh, weird. Maybe... Oh, I don't know what could have caused that then. It's pretty weird. Like, by caused, I mean, how do I have it, but you don't? Okay, and then rotating all the way, I mean, extending to the other side. Oh, wow, I was actually on the money with that, but I stopped midway. And again, I don't think you actually need to go and bother with the second one because you could just follow the convergence, which here is just straight up and down. So there's that. Although, this is a little uncomfortable because why is it so far away? Surely the mirror isn't that far. What did I do wrong? Oh. Yeah. So this just goes down too. And try to pay attention to your draftsmanship if you're doing this. Try not to undo every single time like I'm doing. I'm going to try to prevent myself from doing that. It just really slows you down and trains your brain to be really lazy with your marks, which isn't really a good thing long term. I don't think it should affect you. You drink at work anyway. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'll probably be fine. Okay, so then mirroring offset planes. Before I start that, I'm going to go for a PP. A PP run. And actually I am going to get some water because I feel like I need some water. So I'll be right back. Sorry if that was loud, I hope not. Hey, hey. I think I need some different music. Whatever I was listening to, it was just not doing it for me. It's like taking itself a little too seriously. Stay Hydrated Bot is a fucking affiliate partner? Weird. It's both? I want to change the music, but there's just not really any good DRM free music. Except that one playlist I listen to non-stop. Yeah, this one. This one's pretty good. Aside from the annoying that sound they make in the middle of it, but whatever. Alright. So on to the mirroring offset planes. So step 1, set up a plane that hovers above the ground or mirror plane. Extend the lines at each of the corners in the mirror direction. Okay. Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know how bots work, to be honest. Like Twitch bots specifically. I think we can fit another plane here. Oops. Okay. So I'm gonna draw a ground plane. It's not a very good ground plane compared to Lord Scott's plane, so I'm gonna copy his. Just so I can follow the instructions better and then try to do my own. Well, actually, that just doesn't look like his at all, so... Oops. Okay, let me redo that. So it's like this, and then... I wish I had, like, a way to put this somewhere where I can see it besides holding it up, but we're just gonna hold it up. Wow, I'm still doing this wrong. What the fuck? This is so strange because it's like the smallest deviance from like angle difference just makes like a gigantic difference. A tiny little mistake and everything is wrong. What's up, Bowser? Doing nothing wrong today? Ah, thank you. I like these because my bangs are at this really annoying length where it gets in my face, so it just gets your hair out of your face. Which is especially useful when you're eating. Not that I'm eating, but... Okay, so we got the basic plane. You know, I don't know what it means by offset though, like... Oh, I guess it means it's not on the same... Well, actually, no, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I kind of get it. It's like it's facing the mirror plane rather than like it's perpendicular to the mirror plane. So it's parallel to the mirror plane, not perpendicular, I guess is what it means. So, okay, so set up a plane that hovers above the ground. Extend the lines at each of the corners in the mirror direction. Okay. So we're going to extend the lines down. What am I trying to figure out? I am trying to... Well, I think I described it already. Really hard to do this with this fucking book in my hand. Oh yeah, so it was just, it's like mirroring offset planes, and I guess that just means, like, I was like, offset? What does that even mean? But it appears to just mean that it's parallel to the mirror plane rather than perpendicular. So mirror the front line by using the multiplication technique. Wait, but how do I know that this is... Okay, so I'm just gonna draw something inside of the... Damn it, my box is too big. Ah! Damn you, Scott! Everything is so hard in this book. Like, how do I make it tiny but not? I don't like that angle, it's like going slightly the wrong way. Okay, okay, so then draw your X and find the midpoint. And then draw through to the end of this, which should have been longer, I guess. It's either like I should have made this is the mirror plane. I mean, I'm hoping this technique would work regardless of if the size is off, like, so that's the mirror plane. brush, turn that, okay. Okay. So then you take this down to, I guess, just here. So you just find the, you know, your midpoint. I need to turn that back up to 100. And then cross from here to here. And then as you intersect that, follow your mirror plane convergence. I hope that's the word. Here, down. And then I think you just go back in space. Yep. So then just follow your convergence again, back to your line here. And then here. Oh, it's a little awkward. It's like not right. Oh, there is a slight change in convergence, so I guess that's acceptable. I guess. So anyway, you come up with two separate planes out of that. Okay, so well, there's that. Again, I don't really know the use case for it. Like, would it be like for a, I guess something to do with a vehicle or something? I really don't know, but there we go. Mirroring offset planes. So now mirroring tilted planes, which seems kind of useful. Because I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, I can see how that's useful, like, easily. Especially, again, with, like, vehicles. So, let's get started. And I'm gonna zoom out. I think I might need a new sheet. Just to give myself the space. Or I can just shrink all of this, which I'm probably gonna do. And now we have a free sheet of paper. Okay. So first I'm going to start off with my mirror again. And I'm going to hold this up while drawing it so I can kind of follow along. It looks like the convergence is sort of like this, but spread apart, so it's going to be slightly in, but just barely noticeable. Okay, so the text says mirroring tilted planes uses the same technique of multiplying rectangles. These side-by-side examples illustrate this principle. They are separate constructions mirroring different tilted planes. Okay. Don't really know what that actually means, that second sentence, third sentence, but okay. So set up a tilted plane, which we did, and the plane to be used as a mirror. Oh wait, well we used the mirror, so use a perspective grid to determine where both planes are located in space relative to each other. This is essential to stay clear on the construction. Which is ironic because he talks about perspective grids later, so... Alright then. I guess what he's implying is... You know, we have this going on. This is just a... And then we have another, look at this going. I will say at least this time around, I know what a perspective grid is. The first time, I had no idea what that was. And this line is completely slanted. And so is this one, so I'm erasing that. Wow. I haven't practiced many lines going down like that, so I could rotate the page. Everything I've done is always horizontal, so doing a diagonal going down is somewhat new. And my hand doesn't know what to do. It's pretty weird. Okay, that took long enough. So that is the gist of this grid. It's not really that well done, but I guess we're just gonna live with it. So he says use a perspective grid to determine where both planes are located in space relative to each other. So it sounds like he's saying let this be the ground plane, and then we need to have some sort of like grid on this view to sort of orient the other plane in space. And I'm going to darken this one here. Actually, I'm just gonna color that real quick, just so we can keep it clean. In my opinion, try not rotating the page often. It'll be better keeping it as... Yeah, I definitely have heard mixed messages about that. I mean, if it's convenient to rotate a page, you know, why not? Even Scott Robertson recommends rotating the page. But when I watch Modern Day James do his drawings, he never rotates anything, he just draws. So I think that the skill can definitely be developed, and it kind of makes sense to I think train that, just because why not? Okay, so since this is the ground plane, I'm going to basically just, oops, let's make this black, and I'm going to make this be the start of the plane, change my opacity back up to 100, and then I'm going to just do that, start creating the tilted plane. I believe it's tilted, right? Yeah, tilted. And again, in space, we have this grid showing us that it's got a slight 3/4 perspective. I'm sorry, 3-point perspective angling. Hey, I actually feel like I know something. Oh, that's amazing. Grids are, yeah, without understanding them, I think everything's a lot harder. So this is going off to its own vanishing point, somewhere. And I'm just gonna make them about the same convergence, because I'm gonna pretend my vanishing point is way off in the distance somewhere. I think this one actually could stand to be a little bit more angled straighter, to follow the 3-point perspective angle that we see here. Like if we follow this trend, it's like it starts to converge back in, so it's almost like straight down, I guess. Yeah. It makes you look fancy if you can draw straight lines without rotating. Alright, well, in the name of being fancy, let's train it. There's no point in drawing if you're not being fancy about it, you know what I mean? Okay, so I think this is basically the same thing, except now, oh yeah, okay. Extend the tilted plane line and the mirror plane line to mark the intersection point B. Okay, I may actually not have enough space. No, god damn it. Okay, I'm gonna actually make this, I'm just gonna change the plane to be that, just for the sake of this exercise. If you can't say I can draw straight lines better than you, what's the point of drawing? Yeah, man. If you can't just like run around saying I'm better than you, what's the point of doing anything? Which actually brings me to an interesting thought. I've seen so many people online get really like sad that they're not good or something. And hold on one sec. Where the fuck does D come from? Okay, I think we're following the grid here. Oh yeah, but I was just gonna say, people really, they start, sorry, I cannot draw in that position. They get really upset, like, oh, so-and-so is so good, and it makes me angry, or it makes me mad, or afraid that I'll never be good. And you know, while I do understand people are trying to make a living with art and so you have to be good, I think it's really, really important to actually enjoy the practice of getting there. Like, it's so trite, but it's really, really true. Because, like, if you don't even like what you're doing and you just focus on the end result, like, you're going to, I just don't think you're going to perform as well, because you're just too, it's like stressful. But, you know, some people, I guess competition helps them get better or something. But for me, I don't know, I don't really work like that. And I think it actually cripples more people than it helps them, personally. Just based on some of the things I've seen. And yeah, man, it's like, we all got into art probably because as kids we liked it or something, or we needed to, for some reason, create something, and we're like, I kind of like this thing. And maybe have some sort of natural knack for it, you know? But I think a lot of people like really lose sight of that because they get so focused on like being the best or whatever, but like everyone's so different, you just can't compare yourself to other people, you know? It just doesn't work. Because everyone's different. Everyone's had different experiences. You know, like if you look at I'm sorry, I did not know how to say his name. Kim Jong-gi, I think. You know, he's been drawing with his friends or whatever since he was like 11, and then doing it constantly every day ever since. Like, so naturally he's gonna have some skill, and it's, you know, I'm not saying settle for mediocrity or anything, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to get overly worked up about like your progress when you're just like starting. So one thing about the planes I don't get is, how do I decide like what the like, how do I decide how I make contact with the mirroring plane, basically? Like, it seems arbitrary. And I really don't like arbitrary things that seem arbitrary when, like, maybe there's an explanation, you know? I follow the mindset that I'm bad, but that means I need to get better, so I may not be as good as this one dude, but at least I can aspire to get that good. Yeah. That's exactly what I think. It's like, I kind of suck. Time to train. I'll write down what I'm doing. So mirroring tilted planes, and there's not really much instruction, it's just, again, a bunch of lines. So I'm trying to basically extend this plane back to the mirroring plane with these lines here. And I was just saying, like, well, I guess what, okay, I think what he does, is he draws this back to the mirror plane using the perspective of the grid, which he doesn't show. So then you have this section which extends back using this midpoint, which intersects the plane here, actually, so my plane's gonna need to be bigger. Oh god, I don't actually want to draw over that crap. Well, that's annoying. So this, and then just gonna color this in. It's gonna look like complete horse shit when I'm done, but whatever. Because I don't have the original color. Actually, if I take I, can I grab that, and then B, and then 20? Yeah, okay. Whew. So I'm just extending this plane so that we can properly go back into space meeting it. Because the bottom of the plane is pretty much like determined. So I guess the length isn't. Also, everything I'm speaking is, I feel like none of this makes sense unless you're doing it. Like if I was hearing someone say any of this, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do I save all the drawings to see the progress? I do, yes. I save them. Recently I've been putting them in the Discord, in the doo-doo of the day channel, because, and I encourage everyone, if you're doo-dooing today, or you're doo-dooing every day, just post stuff in the doo-doo of the day, just to be like, hey, look at my doo-doo of the day. So that you have a place to dump it, or you could just you could like send a message to yourself or something. But yeah, I try not to store a lot of stuff on my computer if I can help it, because I just always lose it, and then, or I like, my computer burns up, something happens to it, so I like to put it online. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping someday I'll look back and be proud of my progress. I definitely have been proud of some of the progress that I've made from when I first started, so yeah, it's kind of crazy how just doing things consistently, you'll definitely get better. Okay, so again, we're extending to this point. See this point here, and then we're gonna go up. And ideally ignore all that stuff right there, which is basically junk. I'm going to try to follow the convergence, this 3-point perspective convergence, as I draw that line. And then we're going to do the multiplication technique for this box here. And so what this is doing is like getting the distance from each edge of the plane, of your tilted plane, to your mirroring plane, so that you can multiply it across the mirror. So Meme Lord, do you draw, by the way? And then we're going to take the midpoint here, even though that does not look like a midpoint. at all. Don't know why. I guess it's the perspective of everything. And then we're going to do this. This is following. Let's see. I think this is converging a little too fast. It should be more like this. Oh, wait. The line going back into space should be closer to like aligned with that. So I'm going to try to get that if I can. I think it helps to make points and then ghost your line and then go for it. Your life is studying, playing games, and riding on bike. That sounds fun. What are you currently studying? Okay, so then we take this point all the way from back here and extend this. Actually, I need to make this like longer. I know this is really sloppy, forgive me. I should, you know, be harder on myself, I don't know. I think there's a degree to being hard on yourself and then like trying to learn something at the same time. So, okay, so B, and we take that. Oh, okay, so we take this edge and take it out to here to meet this line, which is very similar. I mean, this is almost identical to what we did for this one over here. Oh, medicine. Cool. Do you want to be a doctor or like a vet or something? And then let's see, so now that we have this point here, we take B, let's label it B, take it all the way back, and try to actually make it go through. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. So somehow we got D to A. We got this. Oh, okay, and this just follows the convergence. So basically we completed another plane. Sort of like a multiplication plane, almost. Which is like here, here. And now we have this, so B to D. Oh, okay. So we have that line, and that's going to be the bottom of our rotated plane. So then the rest is, again, following convergence. So from here, basically this point to this point, following the convergence. And then this point to here, but how far though? So this point and this point, they go together. Oh man, this is confusing. Oh, okay, so this is... the edge of the plane. This is this part of the plane from here to here. And then from here to here, we've completed the plane rotation. Alright then, that, you know, I could say that made sense, but it kinda didn't. But to more clearly show what we just did, we have the orange and the blue planes rotated across this pink mirror. Yeah. So let's do that one again, huh? I mean, I think I grasp something happening here that I definitely do need to put into practice a few more times. You're just studying physics, biochemistry, English, and chemistry for now? Not the hardest thing? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That's what's that, 4 classes? Yeah, you got this, man. Do you have 3 labs? I'm assuming you're in college, right? So it's like labs for the physics, biochem, and chem. I think lab classes are hard just because like they take so much time. Oops. What did I just do? I wanted my L. No. Oh, I created a text layer. What the fuck? Please go away. Go away. I don't want you. I don't want this layer. Why can't I not delete a layer? It's fucking lame. Ugh, okay. Oh, what do you got next year? I will say, understanding what a grid is now made that like 8 gajillion fucking trillion times easier and more sensible. Because the first time I did this, like months ago, I didn't really understand a grid, so I kind of did a lot of research and tried to figure it out. And I think it definitely paid off. Now, let's duplicate that effort once again. Oops. And I'm gonna zoom in and just see that I still have some image integrity when I look at this. Should be the same. Yeah, it's alright. It's visible. I'm actually surprised it degraded so much in quality for a scale down. That's kind of weird. Oh well, it shows you the basics. Oh, first I'm going to do a quick stretch because, oh my god, sitting down all day is like hell. Everyone, get out of your seats and let's do a stretch. I want to make this like an active stream too, but I don't have enough space. But it's good to stretch. But if you're just like stretching out of nowhere, you don't want to just like suddenly stretch and then pull your muscles. Like you can basically do a dynamic stretch, which is like kind of like a bouncing stretch, or like you're moving. Like I'm actually stretching my hamstrings right now because when I stretch a lot, like they get tighter, so I can feel them right now. but like rather than just like sitting there and holding it immediately when you're like cold, when your muscles are cold, it's a lot better to just like move slowly into a range of motion. So yeah, art tips, life tips while you're drawing. It looks pretty weird, but you should do it anyway. Like I'm dead serious, because there are so many people who have like mobility problems because they don't ever move and they just sit at a chair. And you know, say you're not sitting in a chair and you're actually sitting on a bike or something, like that can actually cause mobility problems too. Like ideally you want to be moving all your limbs in all directions, like, you know what I mean, your legs and your arms and everything, because otherwise when you get really old it's going to be really hard to walk and get in your car, which like doesn't sound very fun to me. So yeah, and just like kicking your legs out to the side. Even though I'm not on camera, can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Your back hurts all the time from sitting too much. Oh, what's up, Voximus? Yeah, sitting is definitely going to do that. I think it's it might be good to like I am like not even kidding. Like this is the most basic like stretch, but it's so useful, and I think everyone should be doing it. And basically, all you do is, you know when you're supposed to touch your toes, like most people, they kind of like hunch their back when they do it, and then like they're kind of they're like this, you know what I mean? You don't really want to do that. Like you need to go like this, like as if you're like, oh, hi, you know, like, oh, shichirishimasu, like you're bowing. But the reason why is because if you do this, you're not actually getting the full range of motion in your like your hip adductors, not abductors actually, your hamstrings, sorry. You're not getting full range of motion in your hamstrings because your your lower back is compensating for all the movement. So keep your back totally straight and like do that, and then stretch, basically try to touch your toes. And most people will find sometimes you can't even get to your knees, sometimes there's no way you're getting to your toes, so just start like at your knees or whatever and do that. And that should really help like people with lower back problems, because it specifically like allows you to stretch your back in a way and stretch the hamstrings, which like the whole kinetic chain is supported by the hips basically, and the feet too. The feet are very important as well, and the way you stand. But just, you know, for simplicity's sake, that exercise alone should help a lot. Aquarius. It's so much perspective. Honestly, I had to get up and just like move, because like I've been sitting all day. Like I was working this morning because I had to do some stuff for tomorrow, and then I was just sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting, and then I took a shower and I meditated for like an hour in the shower. So I'm sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting for an hour, and then I'm just doing this, and I'm sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting. So I'm like, holy crap, I need to get up and move. And not to mention, like, actually I love health and physical wellness, because so many people suffer from like pain, like actual pain, and a lot of it can be alleviated by just, you know, some little bit of stretches here and there, and just a little bit of like, you know, moving your body around. Because a lot of us especially if, you know, if you're on Twitch, you probably use a computer a lot. So yeah, definitely good to just, you know, move every now and then to keep your blood flowing, to, you know, not die as soon, and you just feel better when you have like a range of motion. Like I noticed myself, like I had you know, I sit at a computer all the time. Like, that's my job, is sitting at a computer. And I'm doing this, I'm sitting at a computer. You know, I've been a nerd my whole life. You know, I haven't been that physically active. So, so for me, I had really tense, and I still kind of do, I had really tense hip flexors and hip adductors and abductors, sorry. And it actually made getting into cars kind of painful, because basically my fascia or fascia, whatever, however you pronounce it, my fascia was like damaged. So it would be like, it's almost like when I would do that stretch, it wasn't just like a stretch anymore, it's like a pinch. So when I get into a car, it would be like this slight like a nerve kind of pinching pain. And it's like, you know, I'm pretty young, so having these problems is kind of unsettling. And anyway, since I started doing more like stretches throughout the day, like I go into the bathroom at work and just stretch, and if I can get away with it, I do push-ups, and if I can get away with it even more, I try to do like wall handstands. It depends on if there's people in there or not, and if I can, you know. And yeah, I use like paper towels on the ground. So yeah, when you leave your desk and meet people, you never sit, and people try to make you sit with them, and I keep ending up telling them how to sit all the time. I do that too. I would like go over to my friend's place, and they're like, come on, like why don't you sit down with us? And I'm like, because I stand all day. I mean, I sit all day, and I need to stand. I need to like move. Like when I go somewhere, I'm just like stretching, and I'm sure it's really weird, and people are like, what the fuck is this person doing? But I don't care, man. Like, judge me. That's fine. Like, I'm gonna be the one who's running marathons when I'm 120, so, and doing yoga and fucking, like, kicking apples off of people's heads and stuff. So, if you're gonna judge me for stretching in the middle of a party, well, go for it. When something hurts, I try to take a nap. It doesn't really help usually, though. Well, you know, taking naps is definitely good. If you're feeling like something in your body is off. By the way, I'm going to try to redo this exactly, but just like the complete opposite. So I'm going to start with my grid. And, but yeah, a lot of the injury that we have is just due to chronic disuse of our muscles, or overuse for some people. So you just gotta try to balance it out with something, whether that's sitting less, stretching more, even moving more, like walking more, using your legs. The interesting thing about walking, though, that I think is kind of important is, and running too, if you walk or run with bad form, you can cause more difficulties in your other body parts. Like, if you walk with bad form constantly, you can, like, mess up your lower back, or mess up your upper back if you're hunched over. You know, it's really important to like try to, you know, what I always like to do, and I learned this from yoga, is imagine there's like a string at the top of your head, and someone's like, if you can see, someone's like pulling you up, you know what I mean? So you're like up, and your spine is like erect, and you don't want to be like, you know, a board, like you're walking around like a Nazi or something, marching down the street, but just up enough so that like your neck is experiencing the full like length of extension. Especially like me right now, I'm looking down. It's like my head is looking down. Very bad posture. So if you're drawing, your posture's naturally, you're putting yourself down. So I think it's pretty important to like lift up as well. Doopelkun, aww. Why don't you take a little nappy, Doopelkun? Everyone, Doopelkun needs his nappy. Oh, you just took a nap. I thought you said you need a nap. Oh. How was the nappy then? Also, I think, like, other countries, a nappy is a diaper, but I just think it's a cute word, so I say nappy. Cute words for the win, everyone. Okay, I'm just kind of drawing a very arbitrary grid, no particular rhyme or reason, just doing something that looks sort of like a grid so that I can orient my planes and my mirroring plane in space. Ooh, I got so much training to do with art, man. I got just so many things I must learn. I'm gonna try to like study for an hour every morning, and then like, which is I've been doing anyway, but I need to do it like every day no matter what, and then just like wake up, study art, and then do my day, and then at the end of the day practice, and then that way it's like you're sandwiching your day with art. What other better way to spend your life is there? I can't think of one. Okay, so with this plane again, I said that I'm going to do it rotated. So I'm going to make this be a mirroring plane. Actually, I want something with an angle because otherwise I'm too scared it's not going to work out. And this already has a nice line, so I'm going to fill this in. Just so we are aware of the mirroring plane the entire time. That's why we use desks with adjustable angle and height when drawing for hours in architecture and art. Of course, it's more common before the digital age. Ah, that makes sense. In fact, I wonder if I could like turn this into like a ergonomic thing by just like raising this up so I can like look down on it. Actually, I think a laptop stand would work well for that. The ideas. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that this tablet didn't come with like an adjustable arm. I thought it would come with like an arm that attaches to the table for some dumb reason, but it actually just comes with not a tripod, but just like a little back so that it rests. But yeah, the adjustable arm is like, I'm sure you can buy an attachment or something. Or if you were good at life, damn it, how do I, how do I redo? God. Isn't there something where my, shortcuts, I want my redo. Give me my redo, bitch. Edit. Undo, redo. Alt Control Z. Okay. Do I really have to click OK for that? Sorry, I have my computer extended really weird too, so I can't find my mouse. Okay. God damn it. Alright, I'll just color in again. I think I need to set one of my presets to be redo. A line tool instead of brush. That's probably not a bad idea. The only thing is I'm trying to get the like intuitive sense of it, because like I want to make the mistakes and then be like, oh, that's why I need to be more correct, or whatever the case is, rather than being super technical at this point in time. just yet. Okay, so I'm gonna do, so my tilted plane, I'm gonna have it tilted in relation to this thing here. Oh, freehanding lines will get you confused. I can kind of see how that's true, but I think I need to be confused, and then I'll go to something if I find that it's not working out. But for something very specific that I'm practicing for, I'm trying to do the best I can with just basically learning the freehand way as much as I can. Even though it very well could be incorrect, I think for me, it's really helped to see like how that happens, if that makes sense. Oh, and that was not perspective. Wait, how do I move this to that when I'm off the grid? I guess I don't. I guess I just keep it on. Okay, I'm gonna move this here and do this and then this. I'm gonna make it really far away just for the hell of it. Oh wait. Nope, it's converging like this. So that's true. I mean, I'm not against it, but I think that for what I'm doing now, it would not really make it better or worse. Now, if I was freehand drawing this, like I have seen freehand without the tablet undo. Yeah, without a ruler, it's like you can't make mistakes. But I think with the undo, I've been doing decently so far, which is grasping the concept, because I'm starting to understand the convergence a lot better now. It's not perfect, but like it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But like that's totally wrong. But I'm just curious to see what the breaking point is. Like, at what point does something not work? Like, at what level does something incorrect throw it off? You know, I'm curious about like testing that edge, I guess. Okay, so now I don't know what to do from here. Also, I am so hungry. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. I think once I get into the more complex things, I'm gonna find that it's probably true that I need, just for speed's sake, just to use like straight lines. The straight edges, I mean. Okay, so going back to this rotation. I think this is wrong because it's really far away, and like in these examples, he's like going perpendicular to the mirroring plane rather than, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, no, wait. Yeah, that's actually true, Aquarius. Yeah, you have a really good point there. Like, one little thing and everything is wrong. I used to think drawing was easy, but you tried it, then it was really hard. Yeah. Now, one thing I think is pretty easy is observational drawing. Like, if you're just observing something and drawing, like, that's, like, no problem. But coming up with your own, like, idea out of thin air, that's where it's like, what? It's where it gets really hard. If you ask me. I mean, that's just my opinion. And I think it's just so much easier if you were like, if you were younger, and you had like a ton of, you know, stuff in your visual library and you had studied fundamentals, like, man, you'd just be like rocking it. But for me, I just did observation for like the longest time, which is good. I mean, it's definitely good to have some awareness of like proportion and stuff. Like, that's definitely a necessary skill. But I think that comes easier than the understanding of form and space. Personally, I think that. I'm just curious what happens if I do this. I don't actually know. Oh, that would never work. Okay. Weird. Okay, so... So this is the point B. Okay. You get annoyed by a 0.3 degree angle slip. Yeah, that's so like meticulous. What kind of things do you draw, Aquarius? Like, you know a lot about drawing, but what do you make? Are you an architect? I want to keep drawing, but I'm saving up for a tablet because it's kind of being too hard with the math. Oh yeah, drawing with a mouse. That sounds like just, it's like ripping teeth kind of thing. It's like, why? It's so much harder than it needs to be. So, I don't know how to do this. So much for that exercise. It's like, I don't know what to do. Choose point A to mirror. So A is opposite of the mirror plane, and B is the side that's closest to the mirror plane. Actually, I'm going to label this Y because it's not on his graph, but this is B. Extend the tilted plane line and the mirror plane line to mark intersection B, okay? Drop a vertical line from the top of the tilted plane to the ground plane C. The top of the tilted plane to the ground line. What the fuck? Okay, so it's okay, I see what's going on. I think. We'll see in a second. Where's my brush? Hello? Where's my... Okay. So now we take this plane and take it back in space. Yeah, I think that the pen and paper is a necessity to really get a handle on some concepts, like not trying to make a clean line in one go, trying to think before you make a mark. Although I think you can learn with a tablet, especially if it's got a screen like this, a screen tablet. You can learn those things, but it's a lot harder because it's so easy to cheat with Control Z and like Aquarius is saying, if you want to do super detailed stuff, your ruler and everything laid out, I don't know, it's probably a good practice to go through that. Architecture was old days. I'm not in practice anymore, but still have a lot of friends who there, so it keeps me a bit, but from a nice distance. Oh, nice. Oh, postgrad degree in virtual reality. Wow. So next few years after architecture was more programming and making interactive VR and 3D. Oh, wow. That's cool. So are you like retired? Like, I know you said you live in the middle of nowhere. Dun, 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 dun. Bing, bing, bing. Drop a vertical line from the top of the tilted plane to the ground plane C. So here to the top of the ground plane. Bam. Wait, that wasn't vertical. Vertical. Bam. It's in line with my 3-point. Okay. If that is not already there, it's part of the construction. Okay, so then use the multiplication technique to mirror point A to create point D. What? Okay, so C was here, and then I think you connect A to C. So A to C, I think, and then so that's like the distance from the tilted plane to the mirror plane. And then use the multiplication technique to mirror point A to create point D. So I want to do on my plane here the multiplication technique, I think. We will find out shortly. Connect this midpoint back to the plane. This could be totally wrong. It very well probably is. What's up, Bruce Juicy? Brucey Juicy. Hello, hello. Welcome. I then went on to doing postgrad degree. Oh, sorry, I read that already. More like Hermitage and then retired. Planning to get back to civilization again in a year or two. It's been 8 years in the mountains. Wow, that sounds awesome. That's a really good time for like yourself, you know what I mean? That sounds like something I would want to do. But just so I could focus on studying art because like it's so hard with like my job being so like random and occasionally demanding, and then sometimes it's not, but regardless of how hard it is, I'm gonna keep trying anyway. I wish anime was reality. I just wish that like not having a job was reality. I wish I could just like do what I want, which would have been, it could have been very possible, but I made the wrong choices, so oops. Okay, so I rotated this one back. Draw a line between points. Okay, so I made point D here. This is D's nuts. So then draw a line from B and D. B and D. Wait, what? Let's see, that doesn't seem right. Hmm. So this multiplication toward D... Oh, I never multiplied it, that's why. Okay, so now you need to do... Oh my god. It's like... Okay. The question is how long, though? How long do I multiply this? Oh, okay. Duh. Okay, so we follow the... the vanishing point of this line. It's definitely not perfect, so let's keep that in mind. And then, we got this. If I can draw a straight line. I need to align my pen so it doesn't have a delay. It's like got this weird delay. Not delay, but where I put the pen is not where the mark always goes, so it kind of throws me off. Okay, so that's that. The multiplication technique. I'm gonna try to like draw this a few times. Pretty ugly. Alright, and then here. Don't need that many lines. Okay, hold on. Let's try not to make that so disgustingly sloppy. Oh no! Oh shit. No. Oh, what just happened? Oh. Hopefully nothing. Oh, okay. Let's go back to this. Oh, why is this? What is this window? Some weird window popped up. How do I get rid of it? Get out of here. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Oh, I gotta draw it again. Okay. Just extra practice. Okay, and then from here to the edge. Bam! And then here to here. Okay, that looks really sloppy, but alright. Story is long. After messing with virtual reality for a few years, but it was so new then and industry jobs weren't available, no one understood what I was telling. And I had the feeling that I neglected my... Oh! Tipperino! Arigato gozaimasu for the subscription! Whee! What's up, Tipperino? And I had that feeling that I neglected my artist side and learning the subjects for so long that at one point I flipped and dropped everything I was doing. I feel you on that, man. Dude, I've like gone to that point where I have just like flipped, but I can't do anything about it, and it's so fucking frustrating, but I'm just going to keep on doing what I need to do and see it as a good thing. As good as I can. To go back to arts and start from scratch, studying and learning all I haven't had the chance to study by myself. The heart is still the concept art side of environments and characters, but I wanted to have a practical jobs for game and VFX industry, so after I was settled with my 2D skills, I started learning 3D more, since jobs are available in studios for 3D compared to concept art. That's... yeah, good. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The practicality element. But at least it's in the same field, you know what I mean? It's like quite close, and doing 3D I think can actually improve your skills in art if you think about it a lot, you know, I guess. You know, I don't... maybe you've shown some sketches. I think if you post some sketches I'll remember, but I I don't actually remember seeing any sketches from you that I can recall at the top of my head. But I have had a lot of people send me art, so I don't know. I might just be forgetting, and please forgive me. I have a horrible memory. Everyone who is close to me will tell you my memory is shit, and it's nothing personal. It's just, I think I have a brain problem. Like, I laugh, but like I can't even remember like memories of my life, and it frustrates me to no end. Like some things, it's like I can barely remember, and it's so weird. And I think it's because sugar messes with your brain, and I've had a sugar addiction since I was like a kid. So I feel like I don't get hyperactive or anything from sugar, but I think it has destroyed my memory banks or something. So, but I'm trying to stop. I've been doing a lot better. Yeah. So yeah, please don't take offense is all I'm saying. Some people get very offended when you don't remember things about them, and I'm just like, please no. It's not you, man. I can't even remember my own life, let alone anyone else's, like, in detail. But if I've seen something, I remember I've seen it, you know what I mean? Like if I see someone's face, I typically don't forget their face, or if I see someone's art, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you showed me that. And then when people bring up memories, I remember them. It's just that my blank, like, zero recall is pretty bad. Okay, so now we're gonna go from B to the bottom of this little bit, this part right here. And actually I'm gonna do another color because I'm not done with the plane yet. And then A to B, A to B, A to B, A. I was in the Discord chat the other day where, like, every time you say A, like AYY, it posts this, like, there's like a bot that posts this thing that posts like a photo of Mao, and it's like L Mao. Like, so fucking stupid, but I thought it was pretty funny at the same time. Okay, so here, what did we multiply there? Actually, I'm not gonna pretend I know yet. So use the respective grid to finish the guidelines. Oh, I know we got part of this. And the other part is, I think it's like, dun, dun, dun. This, wait, follow the guidelines. When it says to follow the guidelines, make sure you follow the freaking guidelines, and then I had to transfer a few more mirrored points. I love how he's like, the instructions are so just like, oh yeah, just do this. And it's like, god damn it, dude. You made it. Alright, to finish drawing, use the perspective grid guidelines to going from the left vanishing point, the left vanishing point grid. So I am on the right track. To transfer a few mirrored points, E and F. So if this is my D, then is it really just that? Is that the plane? No, that can't be. Oh my god, I think it is actually, because it's far away and it's like distorted because I did it really bad. I think it might be actually. Oh, my point D is here. So if I take my D, why does it say D and C? That's not the smartest marking decision I ever made. Also, I really want to start doing Ableton and making some like random music. But I cannot figure out some basic things that have just been driving me insane. But I need to do it anyway because I just need to fucking make fucking music. God damn it. That's my other dream. Art and music and dance. That's my 3 loves in life. Although I do like my martial arts too. That's pretty fun. I feel like there's nothing in life that I don't like except like sports. Like I don't care about competitive sports at all. Like at all. I just don't care. It's fun with your friends. That's the only time I like it. Aside from that, I can't think of anything about life that doesn't intrigue me. Like, besides like excessive philosophy. Like, let's go through the list of every single philosopher who ever wrote anything in existence, and then etc. Like, I'm sorry, but I really don't have the time to read every single philosopher who ever wrote anything ever in existence. So like, I think that philosophy can serve like you well just by using like more of a logical stance. Also, I don't know if this is correct. Does this look correct to anyone who knows the way of the Scot? I like the band Sports. Is that a band? Like, is that actually a band? So this is something I threw together quickly since people used to ask me about my 2D a lot back in the day. They're dated, a few samples. Let's take a lookie. What the fuck app? Oh. Oh, okay. I have the app. I just looked at I opened the app to look at your thing, and I posted my old photos of figure studies and like head studies, and they're really bad, and they have like negative downvotes. It's awesome. Like, somebody found those and was like, man, these suck, downvote. Like, but it's just like practice. It's so funny to me. Okay, sorry. For some reason, I really like when people like don't like something I do. Like, I think it's because my whole life I actually was afraid of people not liking things that I do. By the way, I'm trying to click your link, but it's giving me something weird. Okay, hold on. Give me the fucking link. Wow. I'm in the app, man. I'm in the app. Obviously, this phone app is not... I have the app. I have the fucking app, guys. Okay, I'm gonna look at that after the stream. Can you PM me that link? Because I would actually like to see it, but I can't do it right now. And I got 5K pages stacked in your room. Oh my god. Oh yeah, you told me about the 5K pages. Since you were about hyper, your parents pushed you into sports available. I did a lot and was pro in handball for 8 years, but pro sports are a bit too time consuming. Yes, it takes a lot of time. Then one day I was played football, volleyball, and basketball for fun, skating and rollerblading and some keto, and Muay Thai for a while. Oh, nice. See, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with sports. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think I've had so many negative experiences because I don't really, like, play American. I mean, I don't really have a lot of interest in American football, you know, but that's, like, a huge thing here, and it's, like, people live and die by their sports teams. And since I don't, like, care that much, like, somebody will try to have a conversation with me. Actually, you know what? Sorry, this is really random, but I just noticed the way I hat shaded that made it, like, really... It's like it's not giving any... It's like it's making it look like it's the wrong way, but I think it's actually right. I don't know, though. I need to get someone to check this. Hey, Scott Robertson, is this right? I can't see. Like, I cannot see. Maybe it'd be like this. I don't know. Anyway, I was just gonna say, so people have been mad at me because I don't have a sports team, or like, I didn't care about my college sports team. I just didn't care that much. And, people have actually gotten angry at me because, like, I asked a question just sort of questioningly. Like, one time this guy was talking about how this American football player, did some really bad pass, and, like, he was so mad at this person on his team. And I was like, well, you know, I'm sure he was under a lot of pressure. Like, you know, if you really think about it, like, you're running on this field with the entire world watching you. It's kind of a lot going on, and then maybe your coach told you something weird, and, like, you know, he did better than any of us could, so, you know, I mean, he really tried, I'm sure. But sometimes things don't work out, you know? And this guy got infuriated at me. Like, when I said that, he just got, like, really mad. And I was like, what did I say? Like, I was just trying to, like, help your dude, like, help you, like, forgive your dude because he made a mistake, because he's a human, you know? But I guess that was offensive. And that's what, it goes back to, like, you just accidentally offend people by just being, like, you literally cannot avoid offending people, so I'm gonna do my best to stop trying so hard to stop offending people. Although I still have mixed feelings about, like, swearing a lot. It's kind of like, I don't want to swear too much, but, like, I've been swearing since I was 2, you know? And it's, like, it's built into me, so it's really hard to just say, I'm gonna stop swearing because I just don't have a good reason. Like, people say, oh, well, you're only swearing because your vocabulary is so poor that you can't think of a better way to express your opinions. And I'm just like, no, that's not why no. That's not, no. I'm sorry. If I want to be elaborate and express my opinions, I will, but sometimes I just like to cut to the chase and say, fuck it. I'm a little tired of contact sports and teams, so I have the most positive attitude toward tennis these days. Tennis is a good workout too. And here's to you, Mr. Scott Robertson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. That's right, Scott Robertson. Alright, guys, well, honestly, this wasn't very much work done today. I'm, you know, we did this. Here's the learnings of the day. A decent amount, but what I'm going to do is shrink all these down. Actually, can I see that if I zoom all the way in? Can I even see it? I don't want to make it so bad it's impossible to see, which I think just happened with this. Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of undos real quick. Oh, shit. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to scream into the mic for no reason. I think we can sort of understand the grid going on underneath this without capturing the whole thing. And then I'm just going to shrink this down a little bit and throw it over here. I just want like a collection, just all on one page, just tiny little Scott Robertson attempts, and just like fill this entire page with shit. I think this turned out pretty decent for the confusion that I had when I first started. Oops, I don't want that. Like, okay. Yeah, but dude, I gotta get on some Ableton. I have like, I just have this strong desire to make songs, man. I've always wanted to. And I know like the basic things about Ableton, but it's just putting it into a song where it's like, I don't know, I just don't know anything about audio engineering like at all, so I just want to hack stuff together basically for now. But because I don't understand one thing, it's kind of throwing me off. Oops. I wonder what that does. Oh, what the, I did not click anything. That I know of, anyway. You like the band Tennis too, huh? Oh, you don't play tennis, you're just more positive. Oh, I see. What's up, Webion? Webion! Oh no, I have a weird fucking tangle in my hair. Your main sports is walking to the supermarket and carrying groceries and beers. Last 2 years. Hell yeah. I mean, walking for you is really one of the best things you can do. Like, do you know how many people die from, like, running marathons and stuff? And because of that, I think that it's, like, not really that good for you to... I mean, it's good to exert yourself, but I think that there's a limit, you know? I think it's good to do... I mean, if you look at all the centenarians in the world, none of them are, like, powerlifting, like, marathon runners, like, yet, anyway. I'm sure at some point they will be. I don't want to select a layer. Hello. Do I get my layers back if I do that? Yeah. Hack out the first couple of songs and you hit #1 producers. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's all you need to do, really. So, yeah, I guess I should just throw shit together and hope for the best. Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you need to get started somehow, and it's better to start than do nothing at all, and like it be kind of shitty and then iterate, you know what I mean? It really goes with everything in life. Best to try and then iterate from your trials, because otherwise you're not testing reality. And like life is just a giant experiment. Like there's no one really knows what's going on. No, I don't think anyone really knows anything, actually. Like even science is like, we're still probably at like, I don't know, maybe 10% of all there is to know. Maybe 10%. Is that even possible? I don't know. Maybe 5%. Well, see, I just want to do my MIDI keyboard and make like little things and put them together, but I want them to stay on the beat. So the problem that I was having was like I wanted to stick to a metronome so that like it's consistently on a beat, you know, and then basically just have some structure to the song so that it's consistent all the way throughout, and then throw in like different little things. Like I know how to do it. It's just the problem is when I try to arrange it so that it's on the beat, it like I recorded in like a measure with like 4 beats, and then it won't actually align to 4 beats. It actually counts like 5 or something, or like 4.5, or so there's some weird setting or something that I need to change so that it just does what I want, you know. And I mean, to me, my approach for it will be kind of the way I used to approach like painting, which is just like a shit ton of like layers and layers and layers and layers, and just keep on fucking making layers and editing until you figure it out. Like, not that that's the best way to do things, but I think it'd be fun and very expressive. So I think there's always like a balance between doing something like the right way and getting good at the technical aspects of it, but there's also a certain degree of like expressiveness that is just sort of like a raw you know, capturing of something within you and then putting it onto some media. And I like them both. Like lately with drawing, I already have the image. Like I see so many images every day, and the problem is I cannot express them. You know what I mean? So that's why I work on these fundamentals, because what I imagine is something that it's not that complicated. It's just a matter of understanding the basics of form and space. So, I mean, that's really every drawing problem there is, like, I think. So, yeah. Anyway, the same, yeah. So with music, it's like when you understand the basic way to put it together, you can kind of have something. I could continue to learn instruments, but I actually found that, like, it's almost like too much. It's not that it's too much. It's not that I don't want to do it still in my lifetime. But given the amount of time and focus that my brain can like handle, I think it's a lot easier to focus on like some basic music theory concepts that can apply to piano, guitar, violin, all instruments, and then just play them all digitally because it avoids the need to learn the instrument. And that way you can actually create something with like a whole bunch of different sounds. So that's really the way that I think about it. I think digital definitely has a lot of strengths, but obviously traditional media of all kind is definitely awesome too. Like it's just like going back to the Mac and the Windows discussion. Everything has its pro and its con, and it's different, so nothing is really better or worse in my opinion, but it's really the artist behind the creation that brings something cool into reality, and however they do that, that's like what's cool, I think. So yeah. I used to play drums but can't since you don't have the means. Oh, can you not get like one of those drum kits or something? Life's what you make it. It's hard to fix in editing. It's better to record with constant metronome. Yeah. But see, it's possible. I know it's possible. It's just I've got to figure out how to do it. Singing a melody, it fills in the red. I don't think I'd want something to fill in the background for me though, because it's probably like no, I definitely would want to create all of the layers myself. It's good though when you have that building up inside of you. It's a creative gift, and that's why some people take the pursuit to learn how to turn those expressions into art or whatever. True. What kind of music would I want to make? Honestly, all kinds of music, like all kinds. I would say I don't know if I could really state a genre. Probably anything except like I would not myself create like heavy metal. Like even though I like, you know, Tool is my favorite band, I wouldn't probably go that route. I don't know. I don't know what genre it would be really, but it would probably involve some singing, some rap, some... Yeah, I mean, mostly my biggest thing is I just like to sing, and I just need some shit behind it, and, like, the thing is, it's hard for me to, I just need music behind some, like, melodies that I have sort of floating around in my head, and then that's the hard part. So I don't know what genre they are, because it really depends on what instruments you use that can kind of create that genre feel. So since I don't know yet what instruments I'll use, I don't know. But good question. It can annoy when it's running around only on the inside. Yes, I know, right? And then you don't have the time. Like, I know I'm talking right now, I'm not actually doing anything, but in general, it's like when you have so much fucking time of your day taken up by someone else's thing, it's like, all I can say is to the kids out there, if there's any child going to school listening to this, please, for the love of God, do not go to college if you don't know what you want to do, number one. And if you do know what you want to do, don't listen to all the people around you who tell you it's not possible. Like, do not listen to those people because they're wrong. They're probably wrong. Like, there's always going to be naysayers, and fuck them. Like, if you haven't tried every single avenue and then failed all the potential possibilities, then you actually don't know the confines of reality. So yeah, I'm sure that I'm just talking to no one. I don't know if anyone's going through this who's in this chat right now, but if anyone hears this on a YouTube video for some fucking strange reason, like, it's so important. It's so important. Like, I think that I just want to say that to so many people, because it's like, dude, I just regret so many things, and I wish I had known. Like, I wish I had known that, like, I started to go to my school to do industrial design, which would have been perfect for what I want to do. And the this person said, I actually stayed with her for, like, it was a night to learn about the major or whatever. And so she told me, she just gave me this, like, really grim outlook, like, oh yeah, there's no jobs in this industry. Like, she was looking for jobs and she couldn't find anything. She couldn't get hired. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. And I never actually saw her work, and I didn't know her that well, and I didn't know enough about people at the time to really gauge, like, you know, why she couldn't find a job. But, like, there's definitely industrial design jobs in the world. Like, so to say, like, oh, there's no jobs, like, she made it sound like there's no point in even doing it because there's no jobs. I don't know why, but that was like, hearing that from an actual person in the major, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to college so I can get a job. Like that was my programming back then. Like, I need to get a job because I need to support myself because no one's going to do it for me. So I had to like do something. So I opted out of that because, I'm hearing from all kinds of people like, oh, it's too hard to be a concept artist. It's too hard to do this and it's too hard to do that. And like all that shit, I think about all those things people told me and I'm just like, why did I listen? Like, why did I listen to that? I just had, the biggest reason is really because I had no money. So like I couldn't just go to California and go to school because the way that the financial aid here works is they take your parents' salary. So even if you're paying for everything on your own and you have zero financial assistance, they take your parents' salary to calculate like how much like aid you can get. And I didn't want to take out like $100,000 worth of loans. So like I didn't qualify for certain grants that I could qualify for now if I had gone to school now. Like that, oh my God. Whew. There's so many systemic issues involved. Maybe I should make videos or something to address this because it's like, God, if only I had known. And I should probably help other people know that because I'm sure there's someone out there who doesn't know. And if I can just help one person not make the same mistakes I did, then my life was not in vain. So anyway, Webion says, that's not cool. I'm not musically inclined, so it's pretty interesting to hear about. Oh, really? Yeah, I think music actually, I've always loved singing since I was a kid. Like, that's always been my favorite thing to do ever, of all time. And drawing. I think singing and drawing are like the two things that I did as a kid, like, constantly. So, and I like dancing too, so. Trying to make a song is not a healthy way to go, though. Songs are industrial products with forced limits and needs. Better to focus on the feeling in a musical piece and just go where it takes you. I love improvising when I sit down on music much more. Industrial design in practice is nothing like what Scott Robertson teaches, though. He's showing practical rendering and drawing techniques, which mostly relates to the representation side of industrial design and maybe sometimes good sketching ideas. Oh, I'm sure that it's a lot more detailed industrial design for sure. Like I don't trick. I mean, Scott Robertson's thing I'm pretty sure is more like concept art based, so it's not like the full range of what you learn in industrial design at all. But in general, I was saying like industrial design would translate a foundation in that would translate very well to like expressing other artistic ideas in my head. So you have to understand the basic fundamentals of drawing to do industrial design. So, okay, anyway, with that, I need to go make some food and eat and go to sleep so I can wake up early tomorrow so that I can do all my shit, come home, fucking do this more practice. I mean, that didn't make sense, but just do more practice. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, Drawing Warcraft, Industrial Designer here. Scott Robertson book is the best out there. Oh. Well, that's good to know. I also have two books that are about industrial design. It's called Sketching and Sketching the Basics by Koos Eisen. Koos Iessen, and then someone else. Rosaline? No, Rosaline Steur. Steur. So I want to go through those too, but I think they all tie together. But I want to go through like all my art books, like just study art books just forever, just dive in and just wade through the waters of art books. But I think that the Sunday Scott worship will be a good little theme going on, and then that way I can learn new little concepts and just slowly make progress on other things like throughout the week, such as like anatomy, which I need a lot of work with, and environmental sketching, and just sort of doing a couple of different things, because I think they're actually all really good cross-training. Like, environmental sketching helps anatomy because anatomy is also forms in space. I mean, everything is forms in space, so the more different forms you do in space, the more you're getting this like exposure to showing forms in space. So I think that doing different little things is pretty fun. But yeah, I have so much content to go through. It's like ridiculous. Like I spend the rest of my life just studying. So, but hopefully if I could just spend 1 year of doing like 1 to 2 hours a day, almost every day, and then I'm just studying all fucking year, by the end of that year, I should have enough basic concepts to start like creating my own work. So that's kind of my plan so far, but you know, bam, bam, gotta keep it up, bitches can't fuck with me. Yeah, so anyway, well, see, I don't think the phone case designs are that bad. Like, actually, I love design. I love thinking through like those little fucking details of like everything that I see. Like when I see this TV, like I'm looking at a TV in front of me, I'm just like, okay, I understand you had to use these things to make things fit into it, but like I don't know, I love usability. Like usability is like my favorite topic on earth. Like, not that I know that much about it, but I always think of everything. I see things and I'm like, why did they choose that design when they could have done this? Or like, couldn't you come up with a simpler way to do this? Like, I love the idea of making things easy to use and like well designed. So yeah, I think I would have loved actually doing industrial design because I like those boring everyday things just as much as the lofty, like, you know, beautiful figures and glorious landscapes. Like, again, kind of goes back to, I think I'm interested in everything in life, and it's kind of overwhelming sometimes, but to focus, it's hard to focus. But yeah, gotta start somewhere. So anyway, guys, get your shit going, Aquarius. I'm gonna check out your drawings after this stream. And if anyone else wants to send drawings or do whatever, feel free to hit up the Discord. I recently opened it to be public. And you can go there, talk about art stuff or whatever the fuck. Like, I have some like channels on like, you know, like self-improvement, health, fitness, diet, that kind of stuff. Everything under the sun. So yeah, you can catch me there during the day. I'm usually on Discord like all day. Like, because I basically at work I have periods where I do something and I have to wait for it to finish before I can do anything, so I just pull out my phone and just like fiddle around until I can keep going. So yeah, anyway, oh well, I'm not planning on like focus or broad things. I think it's I see your point. But until I understand how to manipulate form and space, I think they're all relevant, because I'm not even going to look at rendering anything for a year, like at least a year. So since I'm not going to be focusing on that, that basically comes down to one thing, and that is line. So that's showing the form and space. So anyway, that's my plan. So, and I love people and I love objects, so I really can't, if I had to pick one or the other, I would just blow my brains out. So I'm gonna do it all. We're gonna show you that it's possible to do it all. Scott Robertson has his own thing. He can do whatever he wants. I'm never gonna be Scott Robertson, but I think I can get to a level where I can do well enough in a variety of things to express ideas, and that's really my main goal. So anyway, again, I've said I'm gonna go like 5 times, but this time I'm heading out. So peace out, guys. Enjoy your day, enjoy your night, enjoy your practice. Make sure you stretch a little bit, get those legs moving. Like, we need to be active, guys. Let's not die to the American disease, which is spreading all over the world, and that's sitting on your ass. Just kidding. I don't think that originated in America, but I don't know. It's more like a modern age phenomenon. I don't know. Anyway, bye, guys.